Imagine working your entire life to make your family proud, only to discover your father stole your $400,000 inheritance and gave it to his favorite son. This is the story of how one young man went from living in a dusty attic to owning the very house his family tried to steal from him. If you've ever been betrayed by someone you trusted, you're going to love this story. Make sure to hit like, subscribe, and turn on notifications, because this is one of the most satisfying revenge stories you'll hear today. My name is Dorian Marston, and if there's one thing I learned early in life, it's that blood doesn't always mean family. I grew up in a small town in Ohio, raised by my dad Gregory, after my mom Diana passed away giving birth to me. I never got to know her, but Grandpa Will, her father, became the only real source of warmth in my life. That was, until Gregory remarried Susan. From that day forward, my life changed, and not for the better. While my stepbrother Ben got a spacious room filled with toys, I was shoved into a tiny attic with peeling paint and a single mattress on the floor. When Ben brought home a B on a math test, there'd be cake and celebration. When I brought home an A+, Gregory barely even looked up from his newspaper. I learned one thing. In this family, I was an afterthought. Despite the coldness, I pushed myself hard in school. I wanted to be a civil engineer one day, to build something meaningful, something that lasted. I applied to colleges. I dreamed of leaving. But when the acceptance letters came, reality hit like a freight train. "Sorry, Dorian," Gregory said casually one night over dinner, "we just can't afford tuition. Maybe get a job at Walmart or something." Meanwhile, Ben's private sports academy? Paid in full. That was the moment a seed of resentment took root, one I buried deep inside. Then came the day everything changed. One weekend, Grandpa Will sat me down and dropped a bombshell. "Dorian, years ago, I gave your father $400,000. It was meant to buy you a house, a real start in life. But—" his voice trembled. "I just found out he put the house in his own name. He, Susan, and Ben are living there, while you're stuck renting that rundown apartment." I felt the air leave my lungs. All the sacrifices. All the nights I'd spent working late shifts at Walmart to survive, while Gregory lived in my house. Grandpa was furious. His hands shook as he whispered, "I trusted him, Dorian. He betrayed both of us." From that moment, everything changed. I stopped calling, stopped visiting. While Gregory and Susan flaunted their new cars and luxury vacations, I scraped together pennies just to keep the lights on. But life has a funny way of shifting tides. A year later, Gregory lost his job. Susan's online boutique failed. Ben dropped out of college. Suddenly, the Golden family wasn't so golden anymore. Meanwhile, Grandpa Will moved me to Chicago. He gave me a room in his mansion, a job at his construction company, and, for the first time in my life, I felt valued. I started studying civil engineering at night, learning everything I could. I even met Emma, a classmate who pushed me forward when I doubted myself. Months later, word spread like wildfire. Gregory and Susan were drowning in debt. The perfect house they'd stolen, falling apart. Then, one rainy night, I got an email from Gregory. "Dorian, I made mistakes. I see that now. The house should have been yours. I'm sorry. I want you to have it." I stared at the screen, heart pounding. After everything, the neglect, the betrayal, the stolen inheritance, he was giving me the house back. And he wasn't doing it out of kindness. He had no choice. The bank was about to seize it. 2 weeks later, the deed was officially in my name. Standing on the front lawn, my front lawn, I looked up at the house Gregory and Susan once bragged about. It was poetic justice. They'd stolen my future. But in the end, I owned everything they'd tried to take. Ben tried to apologize one day, mumbling something about not knowing. I listened, but deep down, I knew this wasn't about forgiveness. This was about finally winning back control of my life. I sold the house, used the money to pay for college, and graduated with honors in civil engineering. I joined a prestigious firm, built my career from the ground up, and finally felt free. Today, I don't live with anger. I don't seek revenge. Because the truth is, karma handled it for me. And sometimes, that's the sweetest revenge of all. This isn't just a story about betrayal. It's a reminder that your past doesn't define your future. People who try to break you can't win when you refuse to stay broken. If this story gave you chills, smash that like button and subscribe for more unbelievable stories like this. And tell us in the comments, what's the most satisfying revenge you've ever witnessed? I read every single one.